Welcome to My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Okay, before we dive into today's episode, I just want to clarify that Larissa and I are about to geek out about a lot of awesome products and services and brands that we love and have found along our journey, and a few even that we want to try out, but we are in no way financially vested in or sponsored by any of these companies. So with that being said, if they were to be interested in sponsoring us, we would be all ears. But as of the date of this recording, we are not. So let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to My Wellness Rewired. We are here to empower women to biohack their health like pros. I'm Malerie, and today we're diving into functional medicine, a personalized root cause approach to wellness, and why lab work is your secret weapon for unlocking optimal health.
Have you ever wondered why you're tired all the time, or you have brain fog despite eating clean and exercising? Functional medicine uses lab work to uncover hidden imbalances in your body, like hormone issues or nutrient deficient issues that standard checkups often miss, which functional medicine hopefully will help us fix that. But traditionally, we always go to doctors when we're feeling issues. So today we're going to explore services like Ways2Well and Functional Health, plus a cool tool called Suppco to streamline your biohacking journey.
Yep. So just to overview it, today we're going to talk about what functional medicine is and why it's perfect for women, the power of comprehensive lab work through platforms like Ways2Well and Function Health, how the tools like the Suppco app make supplementation and health tracking easier, and practical steps to get started with functional medicine, because we've both tried it at this point. So we are the perfect ladies to help you guys get started.
So what is functional medicine? Functional medicine is like, so traditional doctors you go to and they try to solve your issues, like whatever symptoms you have, they try to solve it. Whereas functional health, you go to it and they try to find the root cause, like what is causing the inflammation? What is causing your hormones to be out of balance? Like what are you deficient in that would easily like fix issues? And so
like instead of like the symptoms, right? Because
yes.
I feel like you go to the doctor and I'm like, I'm just struggling. I just don't have any energy. And they just try to give me a prescription of something, right? Because
well, especially as you start going through issues like menopause, or like if like moms, like, oh, you have too many things going on, you're too stressed out, or you're working full time, or whatever the situation is, like there's a lot of factors that could be blamed.
Yeah.
And really, when we go to the doctor, we just want to feel better.
And we want to find out why we don't feel good, and we want to feel better. And I do think that also just traditional medicine has become very specialized. So there's just, like when we talked about with our sister, where she was having all these issues, in our introductory episode, and she just went to all these specialists, but they only focused like a microscope on that one thing and not looking at the bigger picture, which is what I feel like functional medicine does, is they try to pull everything together and find out why you're having all of these systems doing all these haywire things, right? I think that there's still a place for traditional medicine,
yes,
for Western medicine. But I think that their role is when you're really sick, then they will help fix you. But then there's a lot of
gray area,
right? Yeah. Yes, like in between that, like their job isn't to make us healthy. It is our job to take ownership of our own health. And I feel like functional medicine is one of the ways that we're able to do that.
Yes. And it's been a game changer for us. And I think that was our first step in really realizing how much control we have over our own health.
Yes, absolutely. And it matters for women, especially because women's health issues are so often misdiagnosed or dismissed, like we talked about. I mean, I remember going to the doctor after I had my second kid, my son, and just going in and, my annual checkup. And I'm just like, I'm so exhausted. Like, and I don't feel right in my body. Like I'm having headaches, like all these things are happening. And they just told me, oh, you have two kids. Like it's just being a mom, like just give yourself time.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're stressed.
Yeah. And I'm like, I know my body. This is not just stress or lack of sleep. Like there's something else going on. And I would like help figuring that out.
Yeah.
And I didn't find any help.
You need to be a detective and like, I need you to help me cross things out. Like this, not this,
Yes.
it's not this. Let's look at this. Let's cross this out and kind of like really be a detective and figure out like what situation you need.
Right, which is why functional medicine has been such an amazing thing, because it's a systems-oriented approach to figuring that out.
Yeah.
And the great thing about functional medicine is that it uses, detailed lab work to identify imbalances, like low vitamin D or cortisol dysregulation, which I've had both of those in my lab work.
Or deficient on magnesium.
Yeah, like if I hadn't ever gotten the lab work, how would I know, right?
Yeah.
And these things disproportionately affect women. I mean, in a 2023 study, I think it was done by Frontiers in Endocrinology, it found that 70% of women with fatigue had undiagnosed thyroid issues.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, and it would have been detectable through comprehensive lab results, right? Yeah. But like, if we don't have access to labs and we can't get our doctor to order them for us,
we don't even know where to start.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on in your body, right? And so that's what I love about lab work that's become so much more accessible to us.
Yes.
Like, I love it. And so, I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but tying it into biohacking, right? Like, this is just the cornerstone of biohacking. I feel like it's functional medicine just aligns with biohacking because it empowers us to have the data about our own bodies, right?
And
know our own bodies and optimize our health rather than just relying on, oh, you're just tired because you have 2 kids, your mom, or
try this and come back and see me in 6 months or 8 months.
Right. Like you're experiencing perimenopause. Like that's all it is. Right. So
you're like, no, I don't want to be experiencing that yet.
like,
I'm not ready
about that. First of all.
Well, I am. You still have a ways, but it's a real thing. Yeah. So we both went to try 2 different functional lab type companies for functional medicine. And so do you want to talk about yours?
Yes. So I heard about Ways2Well from the Joe Rogan experience. And it just sounded so, I was like, oh my gosh, the ability to go to, it's like a telehealth platform where you can get lab work done at a local lab. And then you actually get this whole comprehensive blood work panel done. And then you get a one-on-one time with the doctor to kind of go through the results, explain it to you so that you understand what's going on in your body, and then create a tailored health plan from there.
So when you go there, is it like over an app? Is it over the phone? Is it through email? Is it in person? Like, how do you get that one-on-one connection with the doctor?
So it's actually a telehealth visit. Okay. So it's like a video conference call.
So you could be anywhere.
Yes. Well, so I think with Ways2Well, you have to be in Texas. And so like that is like the law, right? But like we were able to work it out.
So it's a Texas-based company.
It is. Yep.
And so then they can help people via telehealth. But it's okay.
Yep, exactly.
And where do you go to get your labs done?
So I just went to a Quest lab here. Yeah. Just Quest
Diagnostics. So they connected with you for that.
And it was great because I just had to show up and they already had my lab order. And so they I just took my blood and then I got the results ahead of time when it was done from Quest Labs. And then once it was in, I just emailed Ways2Well and I was like, hey, I got these. Did you guys get them? And they were like, oh, thank you for letting us know. And then they checked and had them. And then we scheduled the telehealth visit from there. But they use an AI driven app that kind of analyzes the biomarkers and, identifies some of the health barriers that you might be having personally. It was very personalized. And I've done it twice now, actually, because it's not like yours where it's like an annual thing and you get a couple tests in the year. It's like one at a time. And now I'm doing a couple of hormone replacement therapies that like, I'm going to do another follow-up in a few months, right? And see if I'm on the right dosage, if my levels are leveling out, if they're where they should be.
So every time so they put you on, let's say testosterone, then and then they do a follow-up visit 3 to 6 months later. And then like every time you do that, do you have to pay for that
You do. Yep. But I think that a follow-up is a discounted price. Cause like, I think it was like $500. And for the first time, and then for a follow-up, it's a discounted price because it's just more specific lab work just to see if what they're trying to treat is responding as it should be. Right. So it's been a fantastic experience so far. Yeah. And just knowing, it blows my mind that this hasn't been available to us historically,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It should be readily available because there's so much bio-individuality, and you have no idea how your body is responding to your environmental factors, to the food that you're eating. Everybody's diets can be so different, right? Like there's so many things going on that we really should know what's going on with each person.
Yeah.
It just seems crazy that we don't.
You don't really know how your body's responding to things unless you actually have blood work and urine samples, like an actual things that is specific to your body, because you can't generalize that. Because like what my body needs is completely different than what your body needs.
Well, our lab work was so different, right?
Yeah,
we were so,
our
like,
lab was
I
a lot
had so
different.
many different deficiencies than you do.
Yeah.
Even though we eat generally a similar diet.
Yeah.
Like that's the crazy
We
part.
both fast. We're both on ketogenic type diets.
Yep,
and
low carb.
And we still had very different lab work. So
Yes.
it was very interesting.
Exactly. It was a very cool experiment. And so I would say that it was interesting because I take magnesium every day. I have religiously for years because of migraines and so many things. But I went and got my lab work done and I was still deficient, even though I was taking it every day. And so it was nice to, even though it was a problem I thought I was solving, was still a problem. And I never would have known if I hadn't done my lab work.
Yeah. And it's such an easy fix. Like that's the thing I love about the lab work is like once you know your deficiency areas, like it's an easy like, oh, let's just add this supplement to fix this and let's adjust your diet to fix this or whatever the situation is. It usually is fairly easy to fix it. And then it helps you feel a whole lot better overall in general.
Yes.
Immediately. Well, I should say at least like 4 weeks into it.
Yes. So talk about function health.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that you went with.
So she did Ways2Well. And so she started the trend and I was just like, oh man. So I looked into it and I don't know why I never pulled the trigger, but then like a doctor that I follow, Dr. Hyman, I love him. And I just like how he makes me feel like the everyday doctor, you know, like that he relates to the common person. Mm-hmm. And so I just really liked him. And he came out with a similar like lab, you know, functional wellness, like type situation called Function Health. We'll put it in the notes, links to both of these in our notes. So basically you pay $500 for the year and you get like over 100 or 200 tests done. It's crazy. You have to go 2 different times. Like for women, you have to do one when you're on your period and then you have to wait until you're off your period. So you have to go 2 different times for blood work and then they take a urine sample and they run a slew of tests. They did so many tests for heart health, liver, like your kidney function, like you name it, like they did all of it. And then they give you actually a bio, did they do this with you? They actually gave you an age, you know, so like based on your blood work, like you're this. And so there's an app on there. And so it's great because then as things come in, it will tell you, and then it has a research link to it. So like if your score is this out of this, then it has the research, like, why is this important to you? What does it mean? So it's like, you can read it as the tests are coming in. Yeah. And then once all the tests have been in, then you can, they'll send you, like the doctors will send you like an email that goes over all your health history. Mm-hmm. And so mine wasn't that bad. And so mine was just a few tweaks here and there. And because I was high on glucose, which it wasn't even on my radar at all. I am not a sugar person. I actually don't really like carbs that much. So like for me, I was shocked that was even in my wheelhouse because I was like, what? And so so that was kind of scary, but I don't know if it's just because the last 4 months I've moved and like it's been stressful life. So I haven't been on my normal routine. So I don't know if it was from that.
Probably not eating as well as you.
Yeah. I wasn't on my workout routine like normally. I wasn't on my eating health like normally. So hopefully that's it. But basically, that was a surprise. But my magnesium was on point. So that's exciting. That was a win.
And your vitamin D was good and your iron was good. Those were all low for me.
Yeah. But I was low on like my omegas and I was low on, I had a couple of other issues. So there was like 9 biomarkers that they looked at, but I also did an additional test. Another, which I think Ways2Well also does this, is they give you all these additional tests that if you want to look further into an area, like if you think you have an issue with mold in your house, like you can get a mold test done for X amount of dollars. Like they actually have this cancer screening that's like, I want to say like $900 or $1,000 that they'll scan for all different cancers. Cause now they can detect cancers in your blood earlier before like anything. So that's cool if you wanted to pay that. And they said you could get that done once a year. And so that is great. If you have cancer that runs in your family, like that's super helpful. But I did get the genetic testing, which I should have written this down, but whatever it's called for the ones that the genetically, you only get it done once in your life, but once you have it done, you know that if you have these like markers or not, that will change how food and medicine and different things interact with your biomarkers. So I did get that done as well.
That's cool. I want to do the cancer one. That sounds cool.
I know. I eventually want to do that too.
I mean, it's just really good to know, right?
But since I just started in mine, like mine was $499, $500 basically. Plus I paid $129 for the additional one lifetime test for the geomarkers. And then I did. So I went twice, and then I have a follow-up 6 months later to see how I'm doing. But then from there, it led me to the Suppco app, which we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah, let's do a comparison real quick.
Yeah.
Yes. So Ways2Well really emphasizes on clinician support and AI analysis, whereas Function Health is focusing on extensive testing and just extensive accessibility via Quest Labs. So I would say both of them are great. They're ideal for biohackers who want data-driven health optimization. And I feel like this is a fundamental need.
Yeah.
As far as understanding what's going on with your body. And then it gives you the tools and the knowledge that you need to be able to feel better, right?
It gives you a jumping off point to like, I didn't even like with my glucose. I didn't even know that was an issue.
Yes. Yep. And so exactly. Right. And so I think the major differences we found is like Ways2Well is you sign up one at a time, whereas like Function Health, it's an annual cost and you get testing twice in a year. Right.
Yeah. Yes. And it is what is the funds called? The FSA?
Yeah, it's like HSA, FSA.
That works.
Spending.
That you can use that money for Function Health. So like that's why I'm going to sign up for that now. And so then every year I'm just going to save and put that money towards that.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's an easy
pre-tax dollars. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But either way, both are great. I do want to do some of the testing that Function Health does, because I know with Ways2Well, like you fill out a questionnaire and then they order your lab work based on, what is going on that you're coming to them for. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a doctor who's ordering your test for you still. Whereas I think with Function Health, you can look and decide kind of like they have their base, right? But you can get extra testing if you wanted. And that sounds fascinating to me. So I kind of want to try it.
Well, it literally, like I was shocked, like even when I was going through, I was like, oh man, I cannot believe all the different types of tests before. But I know you had talked about the mold test, and that's why that stuck out in my head.
Oh, I know.
And so I was like, ooh, Malerie wants to do the mold test. So I do think that there's lots of, like you have a lot of control over what labs you want to do. And yes, you have to pay for it, but I feel like you'll feel better in the long run, and it will help you be successful with your, whether it's like brain fog or energy or whatever, that you're feeling like you're struggling in. I feel like that is the best jumping off point for.
Yeah. I just was thinking about my vitamin D levels. What I got, it was like critically low. And I was like, how am I even still alive right now? What does that even mean? And I was so tired. So it makes sense, because I was also iron deficient. So I was like anemic and had like critically low vitamin D. And I was like, Chris, I'm dying.
I'm not dramatic. I'm dying.
Yeah. He was like, calm down. Let me look. And he was like, oh, this is not good.
He validated. Oh, yes, Mallory, you are dying.
Like, sorry, babe. Catch you in the next lifetime.
Good thing we're soulmates.
Right.
That's really funny.
Oh, that's good.
So from Dr. Hyman, okay, so he got me onto his functional health, which is new. He just started this a couple months ago. And so then he developed an app, which I found like last week. And I love this app.
Oh my gosh.
This app is called Suppco, Suppco. And it's an app that I put on my phone, and then they have different protocols. So you go through and they ask the questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they'll give you protocols based on what you're trying to fix, right? So like I put in, I wanted cognitive, energy, and perimenopause, I think. And what did you put in?
I think I did energy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did weight management.
Oh, I did that too, actually.
Yeah, because I really am still trying to
lose your last
3 babies.
Your last few pounds.
Yeah, like it's a huge goal for me to just, I just want to get where I was before I had kids, and then I can decide where I want to go from there. But I have to get there, Anyway, so I selected that. So I did energy, weight management, and did I do cognitive?
Hormones. Yeah, I think you did.
I did hormonal support. Yeah. those are the 3 that I did.
So it's great because you can pick 3, and of course you want to do all of them. That's what I wanted to do. I want to do every single one of the protocols, but they force you to kind of pick your 3 major areas that you're feeling you're struggling in, because then you can change it. And so then based on those 3 areas, they give you protocols, and then you put in all the vitamins you're taking or supplements, or like if you're taking, let's say, like methylene blue or creatine or
I love it.
like any of the random things that you take, right? Like try to put it all in there, and then it will tell you like what you need based on those protocols. So it was great. So it's like so she was magnesium deficient, and so she's like, oh, you should take it. So what it told me to take was a lot less than what they told her to take.
Yeah. It's actually told me to take less magnesium too. Because I mean, it really finds the gaps, right?
Yeah,
or
it puts
then
everything
the
together.
overages. So it's like you're taking too much vitamin A and too much magnesium. But then in talking to my doctor, they were like, keep taking the magnesium, but just don't take any more than that. So I think it's like, but it still is pretty dang accurate and gives you like a score.
Yes.
I was like, this thing's amazing. It's like it evaluates your whole protocol and then tells you if you have missing things, gaps, or overages, and then can give you recommendations for better quality products, right?
Oh, and then even has a thing about like, do you want to do like I want to say the cheapest route? I can't remember, the most economical value, and then like the highest, like the best out there, right? So they give you like the 3 different options. And I said value. I was like, I cannot spend $1 million on that. And so like based on that, it will give you vitamins based on that. And then once you put in your vitamins, the best part about it is brands matter. And so then like it will tell you the vitamin brand, and like it will score it based on if it's been tested, if it, like all these, it will tell you like 10 or 11 different ways the score comes about, but it will give you a score based on a brand of your vitamins. And so it was shocking to me that some of the brands I love got like, they were like a 4. And I was like, out of 10, I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like, it's like just changing the quality of our vitamins would actually help us more in actually getting that supplement. Because if you're not taking a good vitamin, it doesn't matter how much you take. It's not going to be helpful. So brands matter. And so this app not only rates the brands, but it also takes in the cost effective. And so then it would come in and say like, oh, instead of doing this brand, which is expensive, you should try to take this brand, which is similar quality, but less price. So I appreciated that.
It's a great tool to have. Like you showed it to me, and I was like, where has this been all my life? Because like, I feel like that's what I've spent the last 5 years doing, is just trying to figure out, okay, I know I need this.
Yeah.
Now what type, like magnesium, I was like, what type of magnesium do I take? Or like, how do I know that the one I'm taking is actually what it is? Because I feel like we've learned that not to trust brands necessarily, right? And companies, because
it can be
then
knockoffs.
It gets third party tested, right? And then it's not actually what they say it is.
Yeah.
And so it's so hard to figure out if like you're trying to fix a problem and you don't even know if you can rely on the tools you're using to fix the problem, and this is a huge game changer for them.
Yes.
Like it's just, it eliminates confusion. It even gives you recommendations on timing, dosages, and interactions it could potentially have with other things you're taking, which is huge, right? I mean, obviously you're going to want to do stuff under the purview of a doctor, but like with certain things, like it depends on you, know your body, on your health, right? But I feel like it's such a cool tool.
Yeah, it was huge for me, and I love it. And then it was like then it's fun to play around with. Like, oh, if I take this off, how is it going to affect my score? You know? And then it's like, oh, and then you kind of realize. So then it's like, oh, you hear like, oh, this is good for you, this is good for you, and you put it on there. And if it didn't change your score, then like, why do I need that?
Yeah. Yep.
It didn't improve my score, so then I really don't need it. So I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. And it was interesting because I put value, like I wanted the best value, but it was funny because then I put in my protocol and it gave me a low score. And I was like, what? But then I was like, oh, I have a few of the products are kind of expensive. Like that was what it flagged as the issue. And I was like, so then I went in and changed my goals to be just the best available. And then all of a sudden it jumped up and I was like, oh my gosh. It's like all these years of experience of researching. I was like, what did I do? What am I taking?
Yeah. So be very aware of when you select, when you go through the initial startup and you select your things, just know that changes your score. So just make sure you read because they'll tell you what is impacting your score. So just read it. But then it's great because it will tell you, like you click on the vitamin, like what is it good for? Why do you need it? Like what's the benefits? So it's very educational too.
Well, the really cool thing is using it in conjunction with lab tests, like lab work, right? Is that you're like, you can get your labs done and you're like, okay, this is what I'm taking now. And you can put it into the app. And then you're like, my lab results, my tests say I'm low on this and I'm deficient on this. And either the doctor or the app told me, that I need to take, like, let's say I need to take more magnesium or something. Then I can go in and find recommendations, first of all, on brands based on whatever my goals are, to add that into my regimen. But also I can preview how it's going to affect my score, and they should correlate. Right. So that's so cool to be able to see that. And I just feel like a lot of biohacking is just about having the right tools, honestly.
Yes. And because we're so busy all the time, we have families, we have lives, and it's like, it's hard to put ourselves first in general. I feel like this is just one way to streamline it. Like, hey, this is what I'm taking, and feel good about it and confident about your protocol and your routine that you're doing. And it's moving towards the goals you want it to move towards.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. A few of the other tools that we, to think about also is, like, one of them is the Oura Ring.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about that one.
Yeah.
I want to try that one, actually. So it's pricey. So that's the thing.
The problem with the Oura Ring is just the monthly.
Yeah, you have to buy the ring, and then there's a monthly subscription. So that one's budget depending, but I've heard that it can even detect, like, when you're getting sick, like you're coming down with something.
Oh, wow.
It will tell you. Which I was like, I have 3 kids and they're all in public school and we are on all these sports teams. And I just feel like, especially in the winter time, like I constantly feel like something's coming on. It would honestly be nice to have that kind of data, right? So that could be a really cool tool.
I'm all about supporting you buying the Oura Ring and then telling us about it.
Oh, I will.
I'm too cheap. Like, I do not want that monthly subscription yet.
Yeah, there are other much more budget friendly things. Like, we both use MyFitnessPal app, right? As far as like logging food,
diet,
nutrition. Yes. I used for intermittent fasting. There's a few apps that we've used. There's a ton of them out there. If you just want to track your eating windows, those sorts of things. And I've been on, getting into shape, getting my body back, losing some weight. I use Happy Scale. Love that one as far as getting like a trend of what your body's doing over time. It's just more data to collect. Depends on if you like to collect that kind of data or if you just kind of like go with the flow. But
we'll go into that one more when we go into intermittent fasting, because when you're doing these diets, like, the trend should be like, you start here and you might go up and down, but you should be slowly moving downwards. So that's why that matters to do it every day. Because you might have up days and down days depending on your cycle, your hormone cycle. So you can't really look at your day-to-day weight. You kind of have to just look at the overall trend, and it should overall be moving down.
Exactly. Yep. Which we will cover extensively in a future episode. Yeah. Absolutely. For sure. But anyway, it's been really fascinating to research these tools. Another one was the continuous glucose monitor when we because doing just doing a little bit of research to prep for this episode, like we learned about Dr. Sarah Gottfried, who is like a huge expert in the field as far as like women's hormones and protocols and lab work. And I mean, a good quote from her was, hormone optimization isn't one size fits all. It requires a precision approach using lab data to understand an individual woman's hormone profile, whether it's cortisol, estrogen, or thyroid, and tailoring interventions to her unique biology. And one of the things she recommends is a continuous glucose monitor is another great way to track as a tool. And I've always wanted to do that.
I haven't. Yeah, we should definitely try that, because I haven't done that, because I'm in my mind, which I've done no research on it. But when you put it on, since you wear it, and it's like, it will give you your results to things that you eat.
Yeah, and it's your glucose response to food that you eat. Yeah.
So then you can tell right away what triggers you and what doesn't trigger you.
Like within an hour, I think it comes to the app, like depending on which company you use.
Was bittersweet. I may like it or hate it depending on.
It's educational. You're definitely not going to like some of it, Larissa.
I'm like, am I going to really want to know how?
And we're going to talk about nutrition more, but again, when we talk about tools, like that's really fundamental in knowing our body and taking ownership of our health and feeling better, right? Yeah. Another one is continuous glucose monitoring. And so many experts they're like, you need lab work. Like, you got to understand what's going on before you can figure out where you want to go. Yeah, right. And so sure. I just think that it is so fascinating too. We're definitely going to cover that in a future episode.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It will be, I feel like it will be a game changer, just like Suppco app. It's like, it's something that we just need to know so that we can make informed decisions about when we eat. Like, we know that's going to trigger our glucose. So what other things can we eat that doesn't? And what might trigger my glucose might be totally different than what triggers yours.
Oh, and from what I've seen, because like we've watched, we've followed a lot of like content creators and stuff who have tried them, and then they talk about like what they've responded to that they didn't think they would, that they had like a serious insulin spike, and they're like, I didn't think that would cause that for me, and then the next person it doesn't.
Yeah.
Chris and I have been kind of watching because we were thinking about trying it, so we've been like getting feedback from people out there using it. And his dad used it too. And he was here visiting when he had it on, because it just like a lot of them, you just punch it on your arm and it's there for like a couple weeks or something. And so he would show me, he's like, look what I ate for lunch today. And look, you can see how when it spiked, like I had a, a Hawaiian roll or whatever. And he's like,
and it spiked it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It was really cool.
Is that uncomfortable to wear?
I don't think so, because from what I understand is there's like a little bit of a pinch when you attach
initially put it on.
And then it's just in. So it's just, and it's got like a sticker, like, from what I've observed, since we haven't tried it yet, you really don't feel it. It might a little bit when you take it out, I guess, but
yeah, which would be normal.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. So I just feel like there's so many cool tools in the biohacking, wellness, health range that I love figuring them out. So
well, it's definitely becoming new and popular because so many people have so many issues that nobody can explain, that everybody has to take their own body, know your body, own your health.
I know. That's why it's our slogan.
I know. It's a real thing.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a challenge for all of us.
We struggle. We all struggle with it at one time or another.
So a challenge for you guys is, we think that you guys should try to research a lab service and try to see if there's one that like fits your mode or what you're working on or what your health goal that you're working towards. Try to find one this month. Like, figure out if you can do it, if you're not going to do it, and if you can't make a plan for it, because like maybe some people have to budget for it. So you might have to, do it a couple months out, but like download that. For sure, you can download Suppco app right now, because that is free. Absolutely. And you can download it right now and start tracking any supplements you have. And then just know like your energy and your mood and all that stuff. Like, try to know before, rate it before and then afterwards, so that you can really tell if it really has made a difference. And make sure you share your progress with us, because we love to know how you're doing and what's working well for you. And if you found something new and fun that we would also love, because we love new things. Yeah. So make sure you share it with us and tag we can tag our podcast, or you can share it in our Facebook community.
Yeah. My Wellness Rewired Facebook group. Come join it if you haven't already. If you have, let us know your thoughts on this. If you share your progress, if you jump into any of these lab works, like, we love this stuff. We want to hear about it. We want to exchange experiences. I mean, that's what a community's for, right? Yeah. So, and then obviously you can visit our website too, mywellnessrewired.com. In our show notes, we'll have referral links to Ways2Well as well as Function Health. Yep. And then also just links to the app, Suppco. A lot of these tools we talked about, it'll be in our show notes for you guys. And power of functional medicine, man.
Yeah. It's a game changer. It's helpful to everyone. And so thank you for going on this journey with us.
I love talking about this stuff. I really nerded out about this stuff, I have to say.
Me too. Well, it's fun when we actually get to live it and do it and experience it together.
I know. I'm like, I talk about this stuff all day long. It's just like, when in my free time, I just like researching this stuff.
No, I agree.
It's it's the paralegal in me. Got to do all the research. So
dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yep, exactly. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you guys next time. And in the meantime, know your body, own your health.
With lots of laughs along the way.
Absolutely. All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.